Hello there.
Alright, so some crazy things have happened in the last week in the realm of the Monsterverse. I was not going to report on these leaks, but I think that these leaks have a lot of credibility now for a lot of reasons I'm going to get into in this video. I think these Godzilla Jr. leaks were real, and we're going to discuss what is coming for Godzilla Jr. in Godzilla X Kong 3. If you guys enjoy my Monsterverse content, consider subscribing, and let's get into it.
The Atomic Fair.
Okay, so I want you guys to remember something when we talk about plot leaks, when we talk about story leaks for Godzilla X Kong 3. Godzilla X Kong started shooting only a few months after the release of Godzilla vs. Kong. We actually saw, one of the first things we saw about this movie was actually a news report. So we know that Legendary very well probably has a fully put together plot by now for Godzilla X Kong 3, especially considering it's coming out in March of 2027. I know that is a long ways away, but they're going to have to start shooting this movie probably in the next year so they can get into post-production. So I'm guessing that they probably have a good grasp on what the story is at this point. And at this point, they could already be secretly shooting the movie or just already starting pre-production. But let's just remember that there's definitely a chance that there's already a fully developed story for Godzilla X Kong 3 before we even discuss the leaks. But I think that a lot of the leaks that I have discussed that I thought were fake originally, I think there's actually some established credibility behind them now for a few reasons. So for one, I've been going through Ian Cassidy's profile, and this is the guy who has been reporting on these supposed first leaks for Godzilla X Kong 3, and a lot of what he has said, some of the things that he has said, I guess that's a better way to put it, have actually been correct. So he posted an Instagram post, I think on May 16th, saying that Godzilla X Kong 3 was coming out either March of 2026 or March of 2027, and he said that Adam Wingard would be stepping down as the director of Godzilla X Kong 3. So we know for sure that that is a leak that is real, because we did find out that March of 2027 is going to be the release date for Godzilla X Kong 3. Something else he reported on for Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire was the actual correct heights for Shimo and Scar King before these statistics had even come out. And the final big thing, and this is what has happened in the last 2 weeks or the last month to Ian Cassidy's accounts, is they have actually been removed off social media. So this is a big thing that is making me think that these are credible. Now, when I was going to originally shoot this video, it was about a week ago. About a week ago, his Twitter account at that time was gone. It had probably been removed in a few months. I think it had been deleted for a month or so at that point, but his Twitter account was removed. And now, in the last few days, his Instagram account was now gone too, and his Instagram account was posting a ton of different leaks for Godzilla X Kong 3 and what could potentially happen in that movie. So, all that being said, this is kind of laying the groundwork for me to say that I am going to continue to report on all of the various leaks that I have for Godzilla X Kong 3, and a lot of that starts with Godzilla Jr. So we know that Godzilla Jr. is probably coming to Godzilla X Kong 3 in some way, and we know this isn't really any leaks. We know that Legendary is not going to be treating Godzilla as a species anymore, but as one creature, as one titan, per the request of Toho, because Toho doesn't want Godzilla to be viewed as a species. So Godzilla no more, the Godzilla species no more. I guess Dagon is going to be retconned as some, version of a titan that looked like Godzilla but wasn't quite Godzilla. But we know for sure now that Godzilla is going to be one titan in the Monsterverse, and the great titan war between the species of Godzillas and the species of Kongs and Scar King and Shimo and Ghidorah, all that stuff is now going to be relegated to simply Godzilla, and I really don't agree with that. I thought the idea of Godzilla being a species was really great, but I understand why Toho wants them to respect the character in the original way that they intended it. But what they have said about Godzilla X Kong 3 is that we are going to see Godzilla Jr., and that Godzilla Jr. is going to be a clone of Godzilla. So these are some of the first little bits of details of potential leaks that we could have for Godzilla X Kong 3. Always take this stuff with a grain of salt, because until we start getting either some really concrete, undeniable leaks or just straight up plot details from Legendary, we don't really know if anything is real or not. So take this all with a grain of salt, but early reports that we're hearing is that Godzilla X Kong 3 is going to include Godzilla Jr. as an adoptive kind of son of Godzilla, but as a clone of Godzilla. I guess potentially made either like by the US government or by Monarch. I guess they are going to genetically engineer their own Godzilla, and this is going to be the Godzilla Jr. that we end up seeing in Godzilla X Kong 3. Now, like I said, guys, always take this stuff with a grain of salt. I really think that if Godzilla is a clone, or Godzilla Jr. is a clone in Godzilla X Kong 3, if he actually appears, I really do think that it will probably end up being some genetically engineered, genetically modified Titan that is created by Monarch or something like that. But here's another little teaser for Godzilla Jr. I think is actually Suko, because Suko, I think, is the precursor to the Godzilla Jr. that we're going to see. Movie studios definitely love to use marketable creatures and things like that, cute little creatures that will sell lots of toys, and that is definitely what Godzilla Jr. is. So we know that Ian Cassidy has a little bit more credibility than I thought initially before, or I guess other people have talked about in the comment sections of my videos, guys. I actually think this guy is a little bit more credible than we are giving him credit for. I think that he's probably right about some of these Godzilla Jr. leaks, and I think it's very possible that we have a well put together script at this point in time, considering where we were just a few months after the release of Godzilla vs. Kong, with them straight up shooting Godzilla X Kong the New Empire, and then it's still coming out in March of 2024. So they spent about probably 2 years doing the CGI for Godzilla X Kong the New Empire, and for Godzilla X Kong 3, we know there's probably going to be something similar going on. So there's a big chance this movie could potentially be shooting here in the next few months, and I think there's a big chance that there's already a plot put together. So comment down below, let me know what you guys think about these recent reports about Godzilla Jr., and I'll be definitely reporting on the rest of the leaks that I have for Godzilla X Kong 3 over the next few weeks. So subscribe if you're new, and check out my channel for more Godzilla X Kong and MonsterVerse content in general. And for this video, guys, that's all I got. So until the next one, be safe and stay well. Bye-bye.